for Friday, July 8th, the 189th day of 2022. There are 176 days left in the year. Good morning, MB. Guiding you through In the Know at K105 on Litchfield's Country Station, 1039 The Moose. Live online at K105.com via the Apple and Android smartphone app using the SoundCloud or iTunes podcast on Facebook, on YouTube, on Twitter, and the hashtag is In the Know. Coming up today, we'll update you on the latest news headlines from around the community, the county, the Commonwealth, and the country. We'll get you ready for tomorrow's East Main Market, and we will also give you a chance to win. That and a whole lot more coming up today here on In the Know. Settling into my left, rolling Mach 9 with her hair on fire, is my beautiful wife, the beautiful girl. It's Beach. Good morning, sweetheart.
Good morning.
How you doing?
I'm okay. It's Friday, but I'm trying to do too many things at once.
Oh, I see. So you're trying to multitask, and so you feel a little bit scattered?
Yeah.
All right, so I read an interesting query. When asked what people would be willing to do for a lifetime supply of ice cream, some people said they'd shave their eyebrows, give up their cell phones, their favorite streaming service, social media, or coffee for life. They'd travel over 5,000 miles. They'd kiss a frog, or they would do anything legal. Now, you are unimpressed at that.
No,
Let me rephrase the question. What would you do for a lifetime supply of peanut butter?
out of that list,
Yes.
I would probably have to hear it again, but just the one that comes to mind, which I know it sounds gross, is probably kiss a frog.
Okay. Do you I wonder, do you have to shave your eyebrows and leave them shaved, or is that kind of a one-time thing?
I'm at the point that if I shave my eyebrows, I may never have them again.
Oh, I see. Yeah, that's good.
But if you grew up in my era, you did a lot of tweezing,
Gotta be
and they're
careful
not
with that.
coming back.
He is the 5-time winner of the coveted Ohio News Honk Award. He's the 2-time Silver Sound nominee, covering every corner of the globe: London, Budapest, Rio, Tokyo, and even Helsinki. He's Sam Gormley and the Sparks. Morning, Sam.
Morning, Ralph.
How you doing?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing well. Been spending some time in the Finland Bureau.
Not that I was aware of.
You've not been covering Helsinki, Finland?
What's in Helsinki?
It's the World Phone Throwing Championships.
Oh.
The Mobile Phone Throwing World Championships, held every August, so I assumed you were getting your coverage ready.
I thought we sent Dennis.
A recent winner said he prepared for the event by mainly drinking, is what he said. How far do you think you could throw a mobile phone?
What kind of mobile phone are we throwing?
I'd say they have different categories. They probably got the flip category. They got different disciplines, just like the regular Olympics.
Well,
You got to have all
old
different.
Nokia bricks. You can throw that one probably pretty far.
Sure. Can you use a catapult? Does it just have to be? Does it have to be like a shot put style? This is why I want
Does
you
the
to
flip
cover
phone-
this, Sam.
Flip phone have to be open? So are you paying for a flight to Finland?
That's what I'm
then?
wondering. I think you can cover remotely. I think you can attend via Zoom.
I don't know.
But I'm naming you chief of the Helsinki Bureau as of this morning.
Good to know.
Okay, and I've changed my answer over here.
Okay.
I'd be willing to travel over 5,000 miles.
By car,
Oh, never mind. I'm sticking with the frog.
by air for a lifetime supply of peanut butter, you'd travel
Well,
by air.
and that's
5,000
not like
miles.
it's that hard.
I know,
It's
right?
still
I didn't hear that one in there.
quite a flight.
But if it's a drive, no, I'm going back to the frog.
All right, fair enough. You're on the record for that.
Okay.
We'll see some strong to severe storms possible throughout the afternoon and evening. I think it could be raining even into the overnight hours. We could see some strong winds. We could see some heavy rain. We could see some hail. And those are a possibility. There'll be a soggy start to your Saturday, but then it'll be pleasant and sunny on Sunday. Get a little bit of a break from the heat. I'm not quite sure about the humidity yet, but after a day today of where there's a 70% chance of rain and a high of 90, we'll see thunderstorms, a low of 72 tonight, some early morning thunderstorms for tomorrow. High of 84 for your Saturday, looking pretty good. And then Sunday, 88, then back into the 90s Monday and Tuesday, then into the 80s for Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. So we did get, in some areas yesterday, we got, instead of that 10-minute shower and then it's gone, we did get a shower that lasted more like a half hour or an hour in portions of the county yesterday. They kind of moved through, and they were more like rain showers more than thunderstorms. So that might have helped matters just a little bit. But More than half of Kentucky is now in a moderate drought category, despite welcome rain in parts of the state over the past week. The weekly U.S. Drought Monitor report issued yesterday shows more than half of Kentucky is now in the moderate drought category. 55% of Kentucky is considered in moderate drought, up from 31% last week. As a result, the part of the state considered abnormally dry, which is one step below a drought situation, has dropped from 48% to 25%. The moderate drought area is the largest since December of 2016, when in December 2016 we had 63% of Kentucky considered in a moderate drought
What
category.
month was that?
December.
Interesting.
Weird to consider December in having a drought, but it must have been a very dry fall. So maybe we'll get some. We keep looking as we can see off into the distance. We keep looking for a period where there might be a day of rain. It's just like, well, it's going to rain all day, but that doesn't seem to be producing itself on the long range forecast. So we're having to rely upon these quick showers, at least for the coming days. Woke up this morning to the news about the former Japanese prime minister being assassinated at a campaign speech. Shinzo Abe had been the longest serving prime minister of Japan until 2020. He's still very politically involved and still carried a lot of favor and support. I guess he was running for the office again because what he was at was called a campaign stop, but it was out in the middle of this intersection. Like he was standing on a piece of guardrail, and the security was lax around him, and he was just making this speech, and a guy walks up with a homemade gun behind him. It was like two homemade guns strapped together, shot him, and pretty much was dead on the scene. They flew him to a hospital, but he wasn't breathing and his heart had stopped. So it was really tragic to hear that happening in Japan in the last 24 hours or so. Also continuing to see the Boris Johnson fallout in Great Britain yesterday. Of course, people not happy that he said he's staying in the office until they find his successor. They just, wanted him removed. But I saw a headline this morning that maybe up to 56 people have resigned from the British government in protest of his leadership. So that's interesting. As an aside, around 10 Downing Street, I think it was actor Hugh Grant, who is British. He had tweeted and tried to get the attention of the protesters who are gathered around 10 Downing Street that they have these portable sound systems that they're using to make noise and protest. He challenged them all to play the Benny Hill theme song as part of their protest. So you see these journalists for the BBC who are standing out front of 10 Downing Street trying to file these reports about, the parliament and the government, and you got playing in the background, and it just strikes me as, I'm sorry, it's humorous. It's just
humorous for you as afar, but if you were the journalist standing there trying to do the
That's
report,
exactly right. Yeah,
just
it'd
like
be
when you're
Well,
doing
I don't know though. He would probably even get a kick out of it then.
at first,
Just
at
depends.
first, and then it would. I mean, because speaking with someone that goes to places that PA systems like to play very loud, it's funny at first, and then it gets really old really quick.
Yeah, like you're just trying to do your protest, and I'm just trying to do my job, and so I guess I'll be finding another place to do my stand up report. Yesterday in Grayson County, unfortunately, when you have news reports of situations in Uvalde, Texas, and countless other 27 this year school shootings, there were I think 119 between 2018 and 2022. That forces local leaders at different levels across the landscape, including ours, to do whatever is necessary to try and train and drill for the in the event that something like this were to happen locally. And so, led by the Litchfield Police Department, multiple agencies conducted an active shooter training drill yesterday at Grayson County High School. In addition to the LPD, Grayson County Schools employees, Grayson County Sheriff's Office, EMS, fire, detention center, all there together to simulate various situations because one of the first things that people will tell you is these scenes are first and foremost chaotic. Because when the unknown happens and tensions get high, emotions get high, the unknown occurs, it's a chaotic scene. So trying to prepare your first responders, your people who run into buildings instead of running out of buildings, giving them a sense of what to expect or what to look for. Even I'll call them, in this case, unfortunately, they're not. They're technically lay people, but because they are school employees in the 21st century, they end up being frontline people, and they end up being first responders because they just happen to be in the location where, unfortunately, where these things are targeted. So giving everyone in the situation a better understanding, like, okay, I've drilled this before, to trust your training, hopefully would put them in a better position of preparedness and be able to make a difference should a situation like that ever occur. So,
Yeah. I just hate that it even has to be a thing that they have to
Yeah.
that's right.
train.
You wish they'd never had to do any of those again. But as a local, as a person, I'm glad that they're considering these types of things because, unfortunately, you never know what's going to happen in your community. The Grayson County Fiscal Court met yesterday. They were originally scheduled to meet on Tuesday, and their meeting was delayed until yesterday. And by a vote of 4-3, with Judge Kevin Henderson breaking a 3-3 tie among the magistrates, a golf cart ordinance allowing for the provisions of who and when and where can and cannot use golf carts on county roads. This issue goes back to April, and it's taken the summer to modify, do some research, listen to input, and then make some last-minute changes of an ordinance that just kind of lays out the framework. Now, obviously, with a 3-3 tie, there aren't many votes you see at a county level, especially ours, that go 3-3, and then
I know
the judge has to make the tiebreaker vote.
Jailer Woosley, after the meeting, said that since he's been jailer, which is since, about 10 years,
Yeah,
right?
it's a little over a decade now. Yeah.
He said that's the first one that he at least comes to mind for him.
Right. And so, by the way, I've not studied. When you got 6 magistrates and they have 6 magisterial districts, some of them have lake constituents and some of them don't. And the ones who are more likely to have lake constituents are more likely to hear on this issue. So I've not actually broken down the magisterial districts and the votes to see if that had anything to do with it.
From what I've been able to concur on that, they voted no.
Okay, so the lake areas voted no.
Which is interesting.
It is interesting because the last time this came up,
And this time it came up too was primarily from the lake areas. And the community members that were there, I think, were primarily from Nolin.
a dozen to 15 years ago, one of the last times this came before previous court, previous leadership, the people representing the lake communities were basically shunned away and called "you lake people," and then it just kind of went back, and we didn't hear any more about it until recently. Now, you hear about multiple golf cart accidents in the course of a weekend. You say, well, see, there's an example on why you don't need golf carts on roads. Well, we didn't have this law before. We didn't have this ordinance before, and golf carts are still being used. So we're fooling ourselves to think that an ordinance or the lack thereof is really going to dissuade people one way or another. Really what it boils down to is instead of hopping in your truck and driving down to the ramp or your dock or whatever, you're hopping in this vehicle instead, and golf carts have gotten bigger. They have gotten stronger. Golf carts used to be 3-wheeled and 2 people and 2 golf bags, and now they'll haul, 8 people, and some of the seats face the other way, and it's a changing industry. It's a changing landscape. I do believe that what this ordinance does is that it puts pen to paper and says, here are the expectations if you're going to do this, and here is where it's allowed, and here's where it's not. I would caution you to hear that the fiscal court approved a golf cart ordinance, and you just toss the keys to your kids and go, well, here you go. Golf carts are legal. There is way more to it than that. Mm-hmm. And I would encourage you go to K105.com and you read what is considered, what isn't considered, who is a resident, who is not a resident, what homeowners associations can do, what homeowners associations can't do, what you're required to do. Like they're treated kind of like cars, except you don't have to have them registered for road use. I would familiarize myself on all of this before I go charging off going, well, this is legal now.
Each street has to be approved
That's right.
by a committee.
That's right. By the way, you can't also, if you're going from a 35 mile an hour road to a 35 mile an hour road, but a 55 mile an hour road has to be crossed from one to the other, that technically is not allowed by the ordinance. So you find a lot of people say, well, I'm just jumping across the road from 135 to another. And so it's just not as simple as you might.
You're not going to be seeing any golf carts on 259, I guess is the best. Well, at least you shouldn't.
Well,
This ordinance does not say that you should be having
that's
golf carts on
That's
259.
exactly right. And by the way, this ordinance is emulating. I wouldn't say it's an exact carbon copy of others, but I will say that its foundational composition is that being used by other communities. It's
Actually, Boone County was the one that they really worked on
was
it
it
with.
similar to what the city of Litchfield had recently done, but then modified slightly. The county's different than the city and has different nuance, and so it. But to give you an idea, they didn't just start with a blank page and go, wonder what we should do here. They used something that was a working document other places and then tried to improve upon it where they could. A statement by Kentucky State Police say a trooper shot and killed a man firing at police in Martin County late on Monday. One of the reasons this is important is because it was on the heels of that deadly law enforcement shooting in Floyd County last week. Initially, Martin County Sheriff John Kirk identified one of his deputies as the law enforcement officer who fatally shot the yet unidentified suspect. But upon further investigation, they found out that the state police critical incident team is investigating a trooper-involved shooting that occurred on the morning. And so there's still not all the details on that yet. But the reason that it's important is that after a week where I know for a fact law enforcement officers from across the state converged in Prestonsburg and Floyd County to properly send off those who gave their lives in the line of duty. Tensions and alert. And now, in the wake of that, in one of the deadliest law enforcement involved death situations in our state's history, and one of the biggest in the country in several years, the alert level just goes to higher levels than before when you've got law enforcement officers who are going out and doing their duty. Obviously, you've got people who are willing to shoot at law enforcement officers for no particular reason, and that obviously makes you more concerned when you put on your gear and go out there and police like the community expects you to do. So, not surprised to hear of another shooting. A western Kentucky town has issued a boil water advisory amid a water shortage. So Martin County, which we were just talking about, has historically been the area that has had big water trouble. And now on the opposite end of the state, you've been hearing about the city of Marion for the last several weeks. And now a statement from the city of Marion said residents should use bottled water for cooking and drinking if possible, or should boil tap water before using it. Both the temperatures and reduced water flow through pipelines have contributed to the difficulty in maintaining safe chlorine levels. The water shortage in Crittenden County town stems from having to drain Lake George, the primary reservoir, from the town's residents and businesses because of a levee failure. The governor said this was a controlled deconstruction of the dam of Lake George, and had they not acted when they did, it would have drained Lake George, it would have taken out 2 bridges, and it would have drained their backup reservoir. And so they really had no choice rather than to do it. And that's why he declared a state of emergency, and the National Guard is ferrying bottled water into the area. So he said it's one of the worst situations Kentucky's ever faced from this situation.
There was a picture, I'm not sure if it was the governor's office that posted it or what, it looked like an oil tanker truck, like you see it at gas stations bringing in water. it was just really, you really never, it's just crazy to see that for a city.
This would have been a good week to just stand in, like if they'll just spray that up in the air and just, and then put a slip and slide nearby and just have some fun. Doing that with water everywhere. And then the Barbasol Championship. I didn't even know the Barbasol Championship is going on, but the Barbasol Championship is going on in Nicholasville. Adam Svensson had 2 eagles in a 10 under 62 to take a 2-stroke lead yesterday at the PGA Tour's Barbasol Championship. So there you go. Got to get to a break. We'll come back. Got plenty more on the way. Hang around here on In the Know.
Attention! Hendrickson in Elizabethtown is now hiring welders and production associates. These are second and third shift positions, and Hendrickson is interviewing now. Walk-in interviews are welcome. You can also visit their job fair Friday, July 15th from 9 until noon at 940 Black Branch Road in Elizabethtown. These immediate openings include excellent pay and benefits, a hiring bonus, and much more. Speak directly to their HR representative by calling 270-506-5755 and ask about the available positions. Once again, second and third shift welder and production associate jobs are available at Hendrickson in E-Town. Call 270-506-5755. Visit the job fair July 15th from 9 till noon, or see all of their openings at workforh.com. That's workforh.com. To work for Hendrickson, 940 Black Branch Road in Elizabethtown.
Don't miss Sawyer Brown live in concert in Litchfield.
Now the race is on and here comes Pride in the backstretch. Heartache.
Sunday, September 4th, Sawyer Brown comes to the amphitheater at Valley Park with special guest Alex Miller.
Through it is.
Sponsored by Grayson County Tourism, Litchfield Tourism, and T&T Construction. Tickets are just $15 in advance online or $20 at the gate. Buy your tickets now from the Grayson County Tourism Facebook page.
Some girls don't like boys like me. Oh, but some girls do.
Bring your lawn chairs rain or shine to the amphitheater at Valley Park for special guest Alex Miller and the headliner, Sawyer Brown. Gates open at 2:30. Spend your Labor Day weekend in Litchfield with CMA Award winner Sawyer Brown.
I got to give credit where credit is due. I thank the bank for the money. Thank God for you.
Big park, bigger fun, bigger smiles. Beach Bend Park. There's classic amusement rides for all ages. The famous Kentucky Rumbler roller coaster, daily shows, games, mini golf, and more. Soak up some sun and take the plunge in Splash Lagoon Water Park with wave pool, lazy river, interactive play area, and exhilarating water slides. Or relax in your own private cabana rental. Purchase tickets online and save on one-day admission. Or have twice the fun with a 2-day play pass for $49.99. Active, retired, and veteran armed forces always receive free admission with a valid, non-expired military ID and get a discount for accompanying family members. For bigger fun all summer long, come to Beach Bend Park, where the parking, tubes, and sunscreen are free. For park hours, to book a birthday party, purchase tickets, or a season pass, visit beachbend.com.
Apple has a new feature for iPhones called Lockdown Mode. It's intended for high-profile users such as politicians and activists who may be targeted by state-sponsored hackers. Lockdown Mode turns off several features on an iPhone in order to make it less vulnerable to spyware. Federal regulators looking into a crash involving a self-driving car from the GM-backed venture Cruise. The National Highway Traffic Safety Administration is conducting a special investigation into the June 3rd incident near San Francisco. A report submitted by Cruise says the vehicle was in autonomous mode when a Toyota Prius entered an intersection traveling straight in a lane designed for turning. The report does not indicate if a safety driver was behind the wheel, but Cruise does say occupants of both vehicles received medical treatment for minor injuries. And the Doodle for Google competition.
I see you, but you're gone. Telephone the doctor, I'm not okay. I go to the bottom of the bottle to fill this empty heart up. 1,000 proof, don't change the truth. I doubt it, but I can't drink you away.
Today is Be a Kid Again Day. It is Ice Cream Sundae Day today. It seemed like ice cream Sunday should always be on a Sunday.
That would make sense.
It's
It's gonna be hot
too
though,
hard to
so it'd
keep
be
up
good.
with.
I'm not in
be
charge
good.
of that, so I can't say. It's World Kebab Day, so kebab to your heart's desire. Tomorrow is Sugar Cookie Day. Tomorrow's no bra day, Sam. So don't make sure you don't wear a bra tomorrow.
Good to know.
Sunday is Don't Step on a Bee Day. Don't step on a bee on Sunday either. What?
I celebrate that day every day.
You do. So Sunday is Teddy Bear's Picnic Day, and it's also Pick Blueberries Day and Barn Day on Sunday. So just celebrate accordingly. Tomorrow,
Actually, put the teddy bear picnic on my calendar.
You did?
So yeah, depending on the weather, we may dig a teddy bear or two out.
On Sunday?
Sunday. Mm-hmm.
so my question
Be a little warm,
is-
but
no
no rain.
better than today. My question would be is it teddy bear specific? Like we've got 400 stuffed animals.
I think it is because even on the library thing that the calendar that got sent home, that I picked up, I think it is teddy bear specific. But at our house, it will turn into stuffy specific.
Sure, because we
anything
have
that is stuffed.
we have a few teddy bears, but we have
A lot of
oh my goodness.
yeah.
And you got any of the really, really big ones?
Oh yeah, we have a rabbit that is almost as well.
Yeah, we got the varying sizes.
My little brother, one year at Kentucky Kingdom, or it might have been at Kings Island, won a Scooby-Doo that was probably taller than you.
Wow.
And my uncle, who is probably about 6'6", had to carry the Scooby-Doo on his shoulders. So he was walking through. So he's about 6'6", walking with a
That's
5.5 foot tall Scooby-Doo. So it was easy to pick him out in the crowd.
Yeah.
Because you could see just this
Couldn't lose
massive
him.
Scooby-Doo. I don't know what happened to Scooby. I think he went to go live at a farm upstate.
That's right, Raggy.
Yeah.
Tomorrow is East Main Market Day. You may see someone walking around with a Scooby-Doo on their shoulders. It will be because they brought the Scooby-Doo, my presumption would be. But a day full of activity on East Main. Here in Litchfield, there will be, if you will, imagine two different halves. You'll be able to spend the day there. You got vendors and jump houses and food, and then there's first round of entertainment. You've got Aiden Sebastian from noon to 3, and then a little bit of a break, like you go in and take a quick siesta, shower off, get your thumping down to a minimum, and then come back out charging because Peter Moon Band will warm up between 5 and 7 to have the cruise in. Good stuff happening there. And then, of course, Stephen Miller's Homecoming, Papa Bear and the Love Den will perform between 7 and 10 tomorrow night. Always fan favorite, and we'll be looking forward to all of that happening going on tomorrow. So it's free admission. Bring your lawn chairs really, if you plan to cut a rug like you should, if you're just going to cut a rug, you don't need a lawn chair. But if you intend to sit down at all, you probably want to have a
What
lawn
about
chair.
an old piece of cardboard that you can?
Oh, without a doubt. But just now, wear your parachute shorts. Don't wear your parachute pants. It's going to be a little bit warm. But when you're going to do breaking and Beat Street, you'll want cardboard.
I know that when we were there last month, about the inflatables. One son of Dennis C. Cook, Alex Cook, he was eyeing one of those inflatables.
He was.
Okay. There was an obstacle course. And he kind of looked at me and said, "Can I go through the obstacle course?" And I said, you're allowed to do whatever you want. He didn't end up going through it because he didn't have anybody to race.
Oh, I see.
So it was a racing kind of
Okay.
obstacle
Well, I
course.
have a feeling that problem will be solved tomorrow.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
I
problem solved.
I wasn't necessarily in the shape to.
Yeah, so it sounds fun. I am sorry that Stefan wasn't able to be in today. Last couple of maybe he's coming in for next week because oftentimes he's here for part of the
Fiddling Fest?
Part of the Twin Lakes National Fiddlers Championship. So a couple of big weekends going on. And make sure and get out there tomorrow and see Papa Bear and the Love Den. The headline is KFC and Pizza Hut are officially pulling out of Russia. So similar to what we had reported McDonald's had done in previous months because of the Russian attack on Ukraine. A lot of American companies, including McDonald's and some others, were pulling up steaks from Russia. Or are they? And because here's why I am confused. Pizza Hut had already, Pizza Hut is an acquisition of Yum. Pizza Hut isn't a Yum creation, and so they treat it a little bit differently. Yum's bread and butter is KFC, right? I mean, that's the thing they got to protect at all costs.
Hence the name of the arena.
Hence the name of the arena. And the company had already shuttered the 70 Yum-owned KFC restaurants in Russia. And now they have done similar with the Pizza Huts as well. But here's where I'm confused. Might be similar to Russia. If you go into a community in the United States of America, you don't necessarily know. After a while, you might be able to figure it out. But when you pull into the parking lot, you don't necessarily know what's a corporate-owned store and what's a franchisee. What I don't know is when we hear this reported and says, well, KFC, Pizza Hut, and McDonald's are leaving Russia. Do you just mean the owned stores are leaving Russia and you just arrange for franchisees? Or does this mean Ruskies don't eat Big Macs? Because until Ruskies don't eat Big Macs, they don't know the difference. Right? Until Vladimir Putin, like if Vladimir Putin likes Big Macs or quarter pounders like Trump did, then not being able to get a quarter pounder or a Big Mac in Russia,
He's
big
probably
deal.
more of a McNugget guy.
Maybe. So this is
sweet and
where
sour sauce?
This is where I'm unsure. If this is just corporate stores saying we need to hand these off to franchisees, some of you oligarchs who have been thrown out of the yacht business that have to get into the restaurant business, take these and we'll just sell you our name and our products. If it just looks the same to the consumer, what's the big
Right.
deal, right? So this is what I don't know. Don't have the answer to. Speaking of McDonald's, a California accountant, Maria Carrillo, she's from Anaheim. Last week, she was out picking up trash, and what she thought was just an empty McDonald's bag just outside her office turned out to have a stolen gold medal from the 2020 Tokyo Olympic Games amid hamburger and French fry wrappers. She first thought, she said, this is so beautiful. Is it for real? She called her husband, who then immediately called the police. And turns out, so it said, games of the 32nd Olympiad, Tokyo 2020, had the 5 Olympic rings. And so not only was the medal real, but it had been reported stolen a month earlier by Olympic volleyball player Jordan Poulter, who realized it had been taken from her unlocked car.
Wow.
First of all,
Why are you keeping
Why are
that?
you keeping it?
why are you driving your golden? Come on, Jordan. I'll assume Jordan is relatively young if she's an Olympic volleyball player.
Poulter?
Yeah, Jordan Poulter, Jordyn, and then Poulter like Ian. So maybe this will be lesson learned. Don't keep your don't keep your gold medal in your car.
She's my age.
Just put it in your this hopefully she'll learn from her. She'll learn from her lesson. Anyway, I just thought I'm glad it was returned.
Yeah, me too.
And I guess you just never know what you're going to find in a bag of garbage. If it had not been in there, she'd have just thrown. There could have been $1,000 in there because the weight wouldn't have changed. She'd have just thrown it on in the garbage and gone on. But because of the weight, I
Right.
think she was like,
It made
"Why
her
is this
pay- yeah.
McDonald's bag so heavy?"
What kind of thief, too? I mean,
Right. Were you going to look at it as you ate your meal from
Well,
so you stole the medal. Let me cruise through McDonald's, get something to eat, and then I'm going to go home. How do you lose it in between? And then I'm going with stoned, right? Stole something, needed something to eat, lost
Probably.
the bag.
Hard to fence a medal.
Yeah,
Maybe there are people that will buy those things.
it'd be cool to have. I mean,
I'm curious to know who. Well, those Olympians. Technically, I think the Olympians they remain the property of the U.S. Olympic Committee or the IOC, and that if you ever don't want them, I think you're supposed to return them. But people, unfortunately, have to sell World Series rings, Super Bowl rings. They have to sell those all the time. So it's unfortunate that happens. So I don't think it was anything like that, but. California is stuck with 1 billion pounds of almonds.
I'll take some.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, I forgot to mention today is actually Chocolate with Almonds Day, and California has 1 billion pounds of almonds. So everybody's familiar supply chain stuff. All right, supply line and this and that and disruption. Well, because of upstream, like businesses that buy almonds that put them in their products, because of their disruption in manufacturing, it created a backlog to where now California is sitting on 1 billion pounds of almonds that they couldn't sell to consumers indirectly through going into candy bars and things like that. And so they're just sitting here with them. I also saw a story yesterday on CBS that was talking about retailers that are now taking delivery of all the stuff that was stuck off the coast of California in those container ships for months. Mm-hmm. They don't know what to do with them because you got too many goods in too many places, luring too few people with too few dollars. Mm-hmm. And so you're finding some deep discounts on things that are showing up. A lot of your bargain stores that buy the stuff that your major retailers can't sell, they're just shipping them directly to Bargain Hut. You know, they've not even been taken out of the shrink wrap or anything. And so if you are out there right now, you can find some really good deals.
Have you told Misty about this?
I was watching the story and I thought, well, I haven't talked to her in a week or so. I know where she is.
She's swimming out to the boat right now.
She is in the pallet liquidation business is my guess. But yeah, they say right after Labor Day is going to be
cargo ships now.
A huge deep discount on commercial goods that
maybe we'll get some of that on Prime Day. I know that's coming up.
And then this made me laugh. An Italian man has amassed a collection of 12,402 different Pepsi cans. His name is Christian Cavalletti. He originally earned the Guinness World Record for the largest collection of Pepsi cans in March 2004, when his collection was tallied at 4,391 pieces. He has now officially broken his own record with a total of 12,402 cans. He has collected all the various cans that Pepsi does in all the Super Bowl cans, Stanley Cup cans. They, the different the different canners around. They'll do in Nashville. They do Titans cans. In Cincinnati, they do Bengals cans. And so he's collected 12,402 of them, which made me wonder how high of a pyramid that he could stack those cans in, because in 1978, I had a pretty good collection of cans going along.
Well, I mean, and you look even too, like you can see the one in the top left-hand corner of this. There's
the small can. So I found when I was, I guess, 7.
Oh, I see. I recognize a guy on there.
8 years old. I had a show and tell day today. I had an entire pyramid in my room of these RC cans. And I was RC Cola that summer. They had done a deal with Major League Baseball, and they had put baseball players on their cans. And so I've got one here in the studio that's got Pete Rose on it. I still have a Reggie Jackson, and I have a George Brett in my collection.
My dad's got a pretty extensive collection of cans now.
Well, I used to have probably 200 to 300 of these stacked up in a pyramid in my room. Which
they knock over one day?
No, it was not. It was not a knocking over that became the issue. The issue came. I learned a lesson. Jordan Poulter has learned a lesson about her gold medal. I learned a lesson that when your mom tells you to wash the cans out before you store them in your room, you should probably follow her. You should probably listen to her advice, because
got a little smelly.
No, it was the ants and I. The ants were about to pack me away. There were so many ants blazing a trail to the soda cans that still had enough soda syrup in the bottom of them to be. So what happened to all the cans? In the garbage. Until my sister Martha, she bought me my collection of 3 a decade or so ago. So I don't have 300, but I got 3, and I love them just the same. So got to get to a break. We'll come back. Got more on the way here on In the Know.
Your health is important to you. So when you find yourself face to face with sickness, your main concern is simply how to feel better. Well, rest assured, your feel better starts right here at Midway Pharmacy. It begins the moment you walk through our doors, where you're greeted by our friendly, knowledgeable staff, and continues on with special services like free delivery. So whether your goal is to maintain a healthy lifestyle or to overcome that untimely sickness, remember,
Your feel better starts here.
at Midway Pharmacy.
Please leave a message at the beep.
Hey, it's me, your old pal Fun, checking back in. Listen, we gotta get back down to Holiday World and Splash and Safari. What do you say? Blasting out of the barn on Thunderbird, high-speed splashing on Cheetah Chase, and this summer, they've got a mind-blowing drone and fireworks show every night for 6 weeks. Tickets are still at holidayworld.com. Come on! Oh, the kids want to say something. Go ahead.
Free soft drinks, free parking, free sunscreen!
Are you a fan of Conway Twitty and Loretta Lynn? Then you'll want to be at the Lincoln Jamboree in Hodgenville this Saturday night as Donnie Lee Strickland from Branson, Missouri and national award-winning Loretta Lynn impersonator Emily Portman present a tribute to Conway and Loretta, along with Jay Henderson and the Super 6 Jamboree Gang. And make sure to come early and eat a home-cooked meal in Kentucky's finest family-style restaurant. You can get show reservations by calling 270-358-3545. Again, the number is 270-358-3545. Or you can just wait and purchase tickets at the outside box office before the show. Please pick up or purchase tickets by 7:30 p.m. because showtime is 8 p.m. this Saturday night as Joel Ray's Lincoln Jamboree presents a tribute to Conway Twitty and Loretta Lynn. Again, the number for tickets, 270-358-3545. That's 270-358-3545 for Joel Ray's Lincoln Jamboree in Hodgenville, Kentucky. Wow, what a meal and show.
Why? Just think about it. Why is the #1 selling brand of chainsaws not sold at Lowe's or the Home Depot? We can give you over 10,000 reasons. That's how many authorized local steel dealers you can find across the country. Visit one and you'll find a range of dependable gas and battery-powered tools, from trimmers to blowers. And you'll find service from experienced professionals. Real Steel. Find yours at steelusa.com. Lowe's and Home Depot are trademarks of their respective companies.
Just 3 words tell you everything you need to know. They tell you why we employ more than 2,000 workers at our factory in Virginia Beach, and why over 10,000 local steel dealers are putting battery power in the hands of Americans. Just 3 words. Made in America. Real Steel. Find yours at steelusa.com. The majority of steel products sold in America are made in America of U.S. and foreign materials. Batteries and chargers are sourced internationally.
K105 Weather is brought to you by Future Designs Building Materials on Quarry Road in Litchfield.
Twin Lakes weather!
We'll keep rounds of scattered showers and thunderstorms in the forecast across the region. Some of those afternoon and evening thunderstorms could be strong to severe with damaging winds, heavy rain, and lightning as the main threat. We'll see some more rounds of that rain as we get into your Saturday. From the Wave News Storm Tracking Team, I'm meteorologist Tawana Andrews.
Did you know a full bladder is about the size of a football? No way. No way.
No.
Then no one
way.
has a full bladder then. You might think you have a full bladder, but if a full bladder is the size of a football, you've never had a full bladder a day in your life.
I mean, that's a baby.
I mean,
that's a child.
That's what I read. I was like, I don't believe that. Or our bladders get just a little bit full, and that gives us the sensation of being full.
I don't even know that I could tell you what an average size bladder is, though.
I don't know. It says a full bladder. I would presume it was a full average size bladder is supposedly the size of a football. So you got to test out my RC can during the break. What did you notice about it?
It's sturdy.
It weighs 5 pounds. It's a
I
5-pound tin can. Cans have changed a lot over the years. Here's today's water cooler question. If you've not won in the last 30 days and you're 18 years of age or older, you qualify to win by texting your answer to 270-259-6000, 270-259-6000. Going to give you tickets to see Alex Miller and Sawyer Brown September 4th at the amphitheater at Valley Park, and also give you your choice of theme park tickets if you can be the first to correctly answer this 20% of us will do this chore at home, the rest of us elsewhere. 20% of us do this chore at home, the rest of us elsewhere. 270-259-6000, 270-259-6000. Text the answer to that number. 20% of us do this chore at home, the rest of us elsewhere. The Office is in the news. NBC is suing a company called the J. Kennett Media Group because they're accusing them of being a trademark squatter, because the J. Kennett Media Group owns the trademark to the name Dunder Mifflin. So when you buy Dunder Mifflin t-shirts, other merchandise,
I have one.
They're actually licensed, apparently, to the J. Kennett Media Group. And NBC Universal is appealing their rejection to the Office, to the name, because they say the J. Kennett Media Group is a trademark squatter that has built a business based on registering trademarks belonging to others. Hey, same thing happened in the .com runoff. You got .com speculators that got names and just waited for somebody to come along that wanted them more. And if you're a successful company like NBC Universal, seems like to me, you can't trademark everything, but you have to be prepared at some point to go, we need to protect this and we need to protect that. Now, what makes you a trademark squatter? This J. Kennett Media Group, if you do a search, here are some of the things they allegedly own. Tree Hill Ravens, which is the basketball team from One Tree Hill. I bet that's not nearly as successful as Dunder Mifflin.
I was going to say, I'd never heard of that.
Dillon Football, as in Dillon, Texas from Friday Night Lights, probably marginally more successful than, like, in our world, Sam, if you saw somebody with a Dillon Football shirt, you'd kind of know, all right, Friday Night Lights. You'd probably know that. Nostromo from The Ship from Alien. Super Saiyan, when Goku's hair turns yellow. In
Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah, I don't even know what that is.
No clue.
Like an anime.
And from A Different World, Hillman College. So that's more of my generation. So in addition to owning Dunder Mifflin. So are they a trademark squatter? Like they just
a little bit.
They got lucky though with Dunder Mifflin.
Yeah.
Like the others are like, nobody really cares. If you make a few dollars out of that, then no big deal. But I'd say they made a mint off of selling Dunder Mifflin stuff. Mario Lopez is teaming up with Menudo Productions to launch a talent search for a revival of the iconic boy band Menudo. I was always fascinated by Menudo. Menudo was not the first boy band by any stretch. The Monkees were a boy band. Some would claim the Beatles were a boy band, but they had certainly the longevity and the talent to take them further than than boy band status. But Menudo preceded New Kids on the Block. Menudo preceded NSYNC. Plus they were Latin. Plus they showed up on Sesame Street. When they showed up on American Bandstand, you thought, wow, this Menudo is really something. They sang in Spanish. Like, what are they singing about? I must know. So the fact that they're reviving Menudo is interesting to me. Now, if you like your boy band a little more traditional, Backstreet Boys are releasing a Christmas album.
So you're saying they're back?
Backstreet's back. All right, for Christmas. Their new album comes out October the 14th. There will be a special version at Target, the red edition of their album with 2 bonus tracks that you can only get at Target.
Didn't Adele do that too?
Yes, that's that song that she did with Chris Stapleton. You could only get you could only get at Target. Devin Booker is on the final cover athlete for NBA 2K23. So this is good for Kentucky. Right? Devin Booker, who played at Kentucky, and now he's the cover person for the
Anthony
NBA
Davis has been
game.
on there
He has
in
been
the past couple of years.
That's good. All right. Let's see. And what else? Chase knew the answer is washing the car. Washing your car. Car wash. Wash the car is the correct answer.
That's my one and only answer.
Congratulations to Chase. And saddened at the news yesterday that James Caan, the iconic actor, has passed at age 82. James Caan in so many good things. I know some people will remember him for being the bedridden author in Misery, starring Kathy Bates. When she gets that mallet out. Ooh. Some people will remember him from Brian's Song, the Brian Piccolo story. It's a
good movie.
Billy D. Williams, a classic role. But for me, if you can go from playing Sonny Corleone in The Godfather, that, for me, that's kind of frames him on one end, and then does a great job as Walter Hobbs in Elf on the other end. Like, to me, that's all you need to know about James Caan and his talent is Sonny Corleone in The Godfather, great role.
Yeah.
And then Walter Hobbs, who was, well, for a long time on the naughty list until he got right with Santa and they got things squared away. Jimmy Caan goes on in at age 82. May he rest in peace. Got to get to a break. We'll come back with more here on In the Know.
Have you ever heard of a school closing down for the day because of sunshine? Well, one school did it, and their reasons might help you create a little joy in your kids' lives. Hi, this is Jim Daly with Focus on the Family. In the midst of an especially rainy spring, the weather broke just long enough for Washington State to enjoy a rare sunny day. In response, Principal Bob Sampson posted a simple message on his school's website: "School canceled due to great weather." As he told reporters, in a world that's got a lot of hard things going on, it's fun to create a moment of joy. This principal's gesture got me to thinking that parents ought to make fun surprises a regular part of home life. Let's face it, day-to-day can be a grind. Most families have never-ending to-do lists that keep them running from one activity to the next. We often forget what it's like to slow life down for a change and simply have fun. So here's my challenge to you. What can you do to delight your kids this week? It doesn't need to involve a great deal of time or money. Even picking up a milkshake for them on the way home is sure to bring smiles to everyone's face. After all, Bob Sampson is right. In a world that can be tough, it's fun and important to create moments of joy. For more information on creating fun memories with your kids, visit FocusOnTheFamily.com. I'm Jim Daly.
Hello?
Hey, stranger.
Oh, hi. Thank goodness it's you. I was afraid to answer the phone.
Why? What's up?
The credit card companies are after me. They want me to make payments and the calls never stop.
Ouch. Been there before, but I got help from Trinity Debt Management.
Trinity?
Yeah, I called and right away Trinity contacted my creditors and got my interest rates cut in half. They ended all the late fees and over-limit charges, and they stopped those annoying phone calls.
Bet that was a relief.
Yep. Then they put me on a plan that consolidated my bills into one easy monthly payment. That way, I paid off my debt fast while saving thousands.
Nice.
Trinity even showed me how to plan and meet a monthly budget. So now I'm debt-free for keeps.
Wow. Do you still have their number?
Sure. Here, write this down and call 1-800-990-6976.
Can you repeat that?
1-800-990-6976. That's 1-800-990-6976.
Don't miss Sawyer Brown live in concert in Litchfield.
Now the race is on and here comes Pride in the backstretch. Heartache.
Sunday, September 4th, Sawyer Brown comes to the amphitheater at Valley Park with special guest Alex Miller.
Through it here.
Sponsored by Grayson County Tourism, Litchfield Tourism, and T&T Construction. Tickets are just $15 in advance online or $20 at the gate. Buy your tickets now from the Grayson County Tourism Facebook page.
Some girls don't like boys like me. Oh, but some girls do.
Bring your lawn chairs rain or shine to the amphitheater at Valley Park for special guest Alex Miller and the headliner, Sawyer Brown. Gates open at 2:30. Spend your Labor Day weekend in Litchfield with CMA Award winner Sawyer Brown.
I got to give credit where credit is due. I thank the bank for the money, thank God for you. Don't you worry about a thing.
MB's point to ponder for today. I really thought we'd have more time to focus on this, but we'll have to move pretty quick. What's the one thing? Today is Be a Kid Again Day. What's the one thing you miss most about being a kid?
Not having to pay bills.
Not having to
Oh.
pay bills. All right.
That's a good one. The one that popped into my mind was the Schwan's man used to have the vegetable nuggets. That my nanny.
I don't know why I expected you to say ice cream. Like the Schwan's man was always ice cream.
But they
to
don't
me.
make those anymore. I don't.
Vegetable nuggets.
Yes, I know, but that's the very first thing that popped into my mind. And he said we didn't have time. I would have to
No,
think.
it's good. Well, I just immediately started binging through, like, oh, but I
Your
need
can
this, and
collection?
there's- Yeah, I was just going to simply say I miss not having 300 RC cans. Yeah. Oh, composting is one. Yeah, there's definitely miss composting without a doubt. Tonight on television on the Food Network, Diners, Drive-Ins, and Dives. Guy is in Somerville, New Jersey.
Diners, Drive-Ins, and Dives?
Yeah.
Oh, I like that show.
On A&E tonight, First Blood. They'll be at the University of Florida. On HGTV, Steal This House. Celebrity Family Feud on ABC. We'll also have Big Brother. This is on Sunday. Celebrity Family Feud Season 8. Big Brother on CBS will be on Sunday night. We got to see the first Big Brother of the season last night. Seemed like a pretty good cast.
I think so. Did you have a favorite?
I like Paloma quite a bit.
Ah, okay.
I don't know why. She seemed to be total package. She's gorgeous. She seems to be highly intelligent. She seems to be endearing to others, and I think she'll be one of those people that maybe won't.
Okay.
I think she'll just she'll have range throughout the contest.
Okay.
There are some others, and then we watched that Challenge USA show.
Yes.
Which was like all the reality stars thrown together. It seems pretty good.
Yes. I don't necessarily have a favorite for Big Brother just yet. I can't think of the black male's name that made it to HOH competition. I like him for Big Brother, but
Yeah, I liked him too.
I'm really rooting for Angela on the challenge.
I liked Pooch. Pooch had to navigate if you're watching Big Brother, he had to navigate he could have really cost himself right there on day one of Big Brother. And the way he maneuvered that,
Was so
I thought
smart.
was masterful. I thought that's well done, because he was dealt something that is like, oh, you can make a bunch of people mad doing this here on day one. And he didn't. Today's highlight in history, this date in 1972, the Nixon administration announced a deal to sell $750 million in grain to the Soviet Union. In 1776, Colonel John Nixon gave the first public reading of the Declaration of Independence outside the State House in Philadelphia. Former First Lady Betty Ford passed away this date in 2011. President Biden announced U.S. military operation in Afghanistan would end on August 31st. He made that announcement a year ago today. Anybody know how that turned out? Singer Steve Lawrence is 87 today. Wolfgang Puck is 73. Wolfgang Puck served us our anniversary dinner this year, and he did a fine job. Don't you agree? He did a fine job.
Yeah, absolutely.
Angelica Houston is 71 today. Actor Kevin Bacon is 64. Toby Keith is 61. Rob Burnett is 60. Rocky Carroll is 59. Michael Weatherly, so both those guys from NCIS. Rocky Carroll plays Director Vance. Michael Weatherly played Very Special Agent Tony DiNozzo. He's 54. Sebastian Maniscalco is 49. Milo Ventimiglia, who played Jack Pearson on This Is Us, is 45 today, and actor Jaden Smith is 24. Gone but not forgotten, John D. Rockefeller in 1839, Nelson Rockefeller in 1908, Roone Arledge in 1931. Sam, do you know the name Roone Arledge?
No.
Roone Arledge was a TV executive president for ABC Sports and News. And when I was a kid, I always thought, Roone Arledge must be a really important guy, because at the end of all the shows,
his name
it
would pop up?
it would say executive producer Roone Arledge, and I think, man, that Roone Arledge, he must be right. He's the executive producer, and I
Roone.
thought, wow,
Dude, that's not a name you hear.
No, Roone Arledge.
Tell you a
All
story
right,
about
here
a boll
are
weevil.
chart toppers.
Now,
Brooke
some of you
Benton,
may
number
not
one in
know,
61 with the Boll Weevil
but a
song.
boll weevil is an insect.
Yes, and Enterprise, Alabama loves their boll weevils. I don't have time for a story song, Brooke Benton. I'm so
right?
sorry. Let's go to 1970. The Jackson 5, number 1, with The Love You Say.
That music video had seen better days.
Stop the love you say will be your own. 1979. Waylon Jennings, number 1, with Amanda.
It's the best for 1979.
Chucky's in Love, Ricky Jones. Bad Girls, Donna Summer, or Anita Ward, Ring My Bell. We've done those others recently. So.
Yeah.
Plus, I was trying to make Sam happy by throwing in a Waylon Jennings song in there. He's been away for a couple of days, so I was trying to reward him with Waylon Jennings. Cheap Trick, The Flame, number 1 in 88.
I'm going crazy. I'm losing sleep.
I really would have liked to have played more of that.
You were flying through it.
I could have just finished with that. Tim McGraw, Faith Hill, number 1, It's Your Love in 1997.
And asking you to do.
All right, sorry, Tim and Faith.
No, it's fine. I think they'll be okay.
Senior
especially when you
prom.
see this going up.
Kenny Chesney was number 1 with Summertime in 06. And Taylor Swift and Kendrick Lamar, Bad Blood, 7 years ago today. Kendrick Lamar might say a wordy dirt in there, so I had to get rid of that.
So you only got a little bit, T-Swift.
That's it. Yeah, we're so late. MB's Pearl of Wisdom for today. The only thing that will make you happy is being happy with who you are. The only thing that will make you happy is being happy with who you are. MB's Pearl of Wisdom for today. Remember, God loves you, and I do too. If you don't know Jesus, let me know and I'll introduce you. Look forward to seeing you back here on Monday for another edition of our show. For Sam Gormley, for Beej, I'm MB, and now you're in the know.
Powering through the Twin Lakes with the best mix of music, news, weather, and fun. If it's in the Twin Lakes, it's on